welcome to Destination Newry once more. We have a very special guest here today. Of course, we have our very own Miss Olympics. We have Mairead McMahon from Lurgan. Mairead, you're very welcome to Destination Newry.
Thank you very much.
Mairead, let's tell everybody where you're from.
I am from Lurgan, obviously. Play for Clonard in Lurgan, the football club, so lost it.
No, just keep talking, just keep talking. You play for Clonard?
Yeah, I play for Clonard. Senior. I was minor last year. That was my last year of minor, so I took the year out this year just to focus on university, but hopefully be back next year out.
And I'm only after finding out, Mairead, that you actually won an All-Ireland in Ulster, and you actually played along with my daughter.
I did, yeah, Aoife. Last year for the Armagh Minors. I was actually, I think, the oldest on the team. It was last year, around 2 months or so into the season. I was playing a game against Drummond, and our first goalkeeper was away. She had an exam for university, and I just jumped into nets. Like, I've been a forward my whole life, jumped into nets, and James Daly, the Drummond team manager, came over to me after the game and said, that was a very good performance. Do you fancy coming up, to play for Armagh? And I said, yeah, no problem. And I went, and the first game I went to, it was a minor against senior wee challenge game in training. Was on the pitch for about 10 seconds and did my ankle ligaments and was out for 2 months, and came back and trained flat out for 7 or 8 weeks, and then we won the Ulster and we won the All-Ireland, so it was a pretty good year all round.
Yes, it was a very special day winning the All-Ireland up in Dublin.
Yeah.
But Mairead, from playing Gaelic football in Clonard and playing in the final was played in St. Perdigan's Park in Dublin. So we go from there, the Olympics. How did this all happen?
I applied for it when I was 17. You had to be 18 to actually be a volunteer for the Olympics and Paralympics, but you had to be 18 by the 1st of January this year. So I applied for it when I was 17, thinking this would be a great thing to do, be brilliant on your CV, it would be an awesome experience. And I heard nothing for a year and a half, absolutely nothing. And out of the blue, I got an email saying, can you come for an interview? Can you do a phone interview? So I did the phone interview on the train to university, funny enough.
So basically what happened here, you're telling me that when you got your email, you forgot about it, you probably thought it was dead and buried. So you're sitting going to university, you're in university in Coleraine.
Yeah.
So you're sitting on the big long train from Lurgan to Coleraine,
yeah.
And you get this phone call, and this determines whether you're going to get picked as a volunteer.
Yeah. So it was pretty nerve-wracking. I had about 40 people sitting around me on the train, and I was doing an interview. So I had to sit and say, I'm good at this, I can do this, I've experience in that. And I was doing this in front of 40 people that I didn't know, and somebody on the phone who couldn't understand my accent either. That was pretty funny. The phone cut off 3 times, and I still ended up getting picked. So it was pretty awesome. So after that it was 3 weeks after the interview that I found out that I got picked. And
Mairead, of course, your family have been supportive.
Yeah, definitely. At the start they were a bit, iffy about it, saying you'll not be able to afford it, or this is a very big thing to do, being so young. But I didn't want to prove them wrong, but I wanted to make them proud, and hopefully that's what it did. Every time I've heard them speaking to anybody, any of the family members or anything, they've been saying how amazing, my daughter is and everything. It's weird coming from them. It's pretty cool.
But your parents are very proud of you, and we're very proud of you here in Destination Newry, because we feel we have a link when we see that our own people here. Lawrence McGivern was in the Olympics, and I know you didn't have a chance to get to see him because obviously you're working in other parts. But you also play Gaelic, and sport's a big thing in Destination Newry here, and we like to reach out to all our friends, and it's great to have you here. So. So
it's awesome to be here as well. I mean, I watch the show on the internet, and every time you post something new, I'll watch it no matter what it is. It's going to be big now.
So you believe in Destination Newry?
Definitely, I definitely do. I mean, whenever I was asked to come down here, I did it like that. Just like a shot. It's absolutely an awesome station, and definitely think there's big things in the water for it. Definitely.
That's absolutely brilliant coming from my point of view. Again, I have to say, I love to hear stories about how our young people do well, and I know your parents were a wee bit apprehensive about you heading to London, and it's a huge place, and I know in the back of everybody's minds, everybody was thinking of trouble and all that sort of stuff, but it didn't happen. And the games, we all rolled into them. I know we had a great debate here on the opening ceremony
Yeah.
and the closing ceremony. You know, I suppose from my point of view, from the closing ceremony and in the first Olympics, status quo wasn't on.
Yeah.
A wee bit disappointed on that. Now, I'm not even sure they were singing. It might have been just sort of lipping. You know, I'm not sure, but I enjoyed it and I enjoyed the whole thing. But the stadium, what is the stadium like?
I was in the stadium for the athletics. I got tickets 2 nights in a row, and I must say, the atmosphere is just absolutely, it's something else. It is unreal. I watched David Weir win one of his goals. I watched Oscar Pistorius win one of his goals, and whenever the British won, they went crazy. Whenever Oscar Pistorius won, they went crazy. Everybody over there loves Oscar. It was just absolutely unreal.
And of course, Ireland had the double, the 100 metre and the 200. Jason
Smith, he was something else as well. You know, they call him the fastest person on no legs. And just watching all the athletes is unbelievable. It makes you look at them in a totally different way.
And of course, Mairead, you were given a very special momentum of the whole thing.
Yeah.
Just come out of the blue, this.
Yeah. My friend was working in the stadium. Obviously, I was in the basketball arena, so I got other than the tickets I got nowhere near the stadium or backstage or anything. And whenever an Irish person won a medal, the flagpole obviously has the flags, the Irish flag going up, and my friend was working in the stadium and texted me on the last night that I was there and says, I've got a gift for you. And I was like, I wonder what it is. I thought it was a pin badge because I was looking at a pin badge the whole time, an Irish one. And I went and she said, close your eyes and open your hands, so I opened my hands. And I felt this material and I looked at it and it was the official Irish flag from the stadium, and it was just, it made my Olympics and Paralympics. It was just absolutely unbelievable. Best gift I could have got.
Well, I would say, it cost you $3,500 to go there. For that moment, priceless.
Yeah, absolutely. It was just unbelievable. I mean, I didn't expect anything in return except for, the memories and the pictures, and just something like that was just unbelievable.
And of course, when we said pictures, you're going to give us some pictures and we're going to upload them onto the Destination Newry website. And of course, any famous people you run into?
Yes, I ran into quite a few. On one of the training days when I was given my uniform, I bumped into the legend that is Seb Coe. I didn't know what to say to him. I didn't know whether to call him Seb or say Lord. But I was like, Seb, can I get a photo? And he was like, yeah, no problem. I met David Cameron, the Prime Minister. I met Boris Johnson as well.
Okay, just when we talk about Boris, what sort of a character is he?
He is exactly what he looks like on TV. He is brilliant. Whenever he gives his speech, he's so funny. He's just a genuine person. I mean, everybody loves him. It doesn't matter who you are. Everybody loves Boris. And when I met him, I was like, you're one of the coolest people I know. He is absolutely brilliant. He's a brilliant character.
And of course, Lord Coe or Zeb Coe. I had the great privilege of meeting him several years ago in Dublin. And I thought he was a lovely guy. And you're telling me that he's just every bit.
Yeah, he's just. When I met him, I was a bit starstruck because I'd never been out of Ireland, never met anybody half famous, and I just he was the first person I met, and I was like, wow, absolutely starstruck, and he's just so down to earth and so normal, and it's amazing to think that he has overseen this whole the whole bid for the Olympics and Paralympics, and has just made it an unbelievable games, and it is. As much as it's down to the athletes, the volunteers, the workers, Seb Coe, he's up there. He's absolutely unreal.
And any athletes, you didn't get to see the boat?
I didn't, unfortunately. I would have loved to, but I didn't get any tickets for the Olympics when it was over the first time. It was just in and out of Wembley Arena the whole time because it's at the west of London and then Stratford's in East London. So I met all the athletes for the badminton though. Even though most of them are Chinese.
and of course, you have a lovely wee story to tell us, because there was one incident, there was a lady who sort of was coming back late at night and you were going to miss your train and you said, I've got to help. Tell us this little story.
She was using one of our mobility wheelchairs and I was allowed out early from my shift because I had to go back to Watford and it took a while getting back, and the last train was earlyish, so I was on my way back, and one of the team leaders said to me, Mairead, listen, is there any chance you could weigh this chair, this lady in this wheelchair up to the nearest bus station? I said, yeah, no problem, thinking it was only a couple of minutes walk away, and it was about 15-20 minutes up the road. And I said to myself, I'm going to miss my train. And I got up, and these two Belgium athletes walked out, and said, "Thank you so much for bringing our mother up here. Can we have a picture with you?" And I was like, "Oh, this is just absolutely awesome." And I didn't even care at this point. I didn't care if I missed my train. I was like, you know, it's rewards like that. It's not monetary rewards or anything. It's rewards like that that make you feel good and make you feel like you're making a difference. And I eventually got my train, of course. But it was an absolutely amazing night. Asking, you know, them guys asking me for a photo, whereas I should be asking them because they're the athletes. So it was one of the highlights of the journey.
And of course then you went back to the Paralympics, and then of course tough again. It wasn't easy because you're working all the time, and you're probably not. We're sitting watching TV and we can appreciate everything's going around. You're working and you know you have a very set thing to do and you have to get it sorted out. And you're in the basketball arena, and I think one of our local councillors was in the basketball arena at the same time. You wouldn't have met him, but they were there. They thought it was fantastic.
Yeah, it had the basketball arena obviously had the wheelchair basketball, but it also had wheelchair rugby, which we called murder ball. It was absolutely unbelievable. I was inside. I was in the advanced services team, so I had to sort out the spectators inside the actual seating bowl. But whenever you got to watch little, people were just getting knocked out of their wheelchairs, and you're like, oh my god, you started to feel a bit sorry for them. But then they just literally threw themselves back up and got up after every fall, and they were unbelievable. The Paralympic athletes are something else. You feel empowered for them. You don't feel sorry for them anymore. You feel empowered for them. They're just an absolute inspiration.
And I think from this Olympics that's exactly what we do. We look at everything in a completely different light. We look at them now as fully pledged athletes.
Yeah.
And probably have to work that wee bit harder than anybody else. But I can tell you, it was amazing to watch, and just to be in there, and you call it murder ball. I mean, getting knocked out of a wheelchair, and then just getting back up and then gone on, and the desire to win and do well.
Their attitude's unbelievable. As I like to say that like the only disability in life is a bad attitude. I mean, the disabilities don't seem to affect them. They're like superhumans. Literally, they're absolutely amazing. And I had the privilege of meeting quite a lot of disabled athletes, and I mightn't have known who they were at the time, but every time I seen one, I was like, can I get a photo? Because it was amazing to meet them, and the inspirational stories they told you, about what happened to them, and the accidents they were in. The guy I met, actually the first Irish athlete, was Mark Rowan. He was a under 21 county footballer for Westmeath, and then he was in a car crash and was paralysed from the chest down, and now he's a two-time Olympic gold champion in hand cycling. So he was a big inspiration, especially being Irish as well. All the other athletes as well, I met all the rugby and basketball ones obviously, but all of them in general are just an absolute privilege to meet.
And of course, when you come back home, you're into the post-depression Olympic syndrome, and then of course, you were telling me there just earlier on that you're on Twitter, and you fired out a wee message to people. And then what happened?
I wrote a wee short kind of story saying how amazing my experience was and how much it cost, and the rewards were brilliant, the memories and photos that I'll have forever. And two GB handball athletes seen it and actually wrote me a message on a games maker card saying thank you for making this game so special. Took a picture of it and sent it to me. So I'm getting the photos and the cards sent to my home. So it was amazing to be recognised by the athletes as well. So
Mairead McMahon, you've been an inspiration, and I can tell you, I know the backroom team sitting here and they're all amazed at what you're saying here. And I have to say, a young girl, 19 years of age, heading across to London for the first time, you have been an inspiration. It's been a wonderful story, but it's not over.
No, hopefully next January I'll be planning to be a volunteer at Glasgow, the Commonwealth Games. So after that my next hopefully realistic target will be Brazil in 2016 for the 2016 Olympics in Rio. So that is a big target for a lot of us that were games makers. So hopefully that'll work out.
Mairead McMahon from Lurgan, Olympian, a very special friend of Destination Newry. Congratulations and well done.
Thank you very much.
Good luck in your future life. I have no doubt you'll be a star wherever you go.
Thank you very much. Appreciate it. Cheers.